Hey there, Adam Thomas here, Sugar Shack Nation. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. We've been boiling all day. And we've got basically 145 gallons of sap. I've got just about 5 gallons still in that preheater. But I think we're ready to go ahead and draw off some syrup. So with that calculations, roughly are 40 to 1, 40 gallons of sap boils down to 1 gallon of syrup. So roughly I know I have about 3.5 gallons of syrup in this pan. It's not quite where we want it for syrup. I don't think I get this hot enough right now, so what we're going to do is draw off 3 gallons of that. We're going to filter off and get it into a pot. 3 gallons. We're going to take 3 gallons of that, and then we'll switch over to a little bit more confined gas propane burner to boil that down and test it so we know right where it's at the syrup stage. So what we're going to do is come over and we're going to take a look. How I know, I keep track of my temperature as the sap's boiling down. I have right here what is a 0 to 50 scale instead of just regular Fahrenheit. What this does is at 0 degrees, before we started boiling this season, I calibrated it, and you take that at 0 is boiling state of water. So maple syrup's made at 7.1 degrees above, which is 219 roughly. So once this dial gets to that 7, I know exactly where we are with maple syrup. You're probably looking in there, so you say, well, Adam, you got that thing upside down. Why I like to I put this upside down is so when I'm kind of looking, it's at a slight angle going into the pan. So when I just glance by it, I can see when it's at 7, just that vertical temperature dial is right there on the 7. I know we're pretty much right at maple syrup stage. So kind of with that said, I know we're not at that maple syrup stage now, but I know I only have about 5 gallons left of sap. So I do want to draw out 3.5 gallons. So I need that sap to kind of be going into this pan so I don't run it too low, because I still have a flame underneath of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab myself our stainless steel pot, which I use to boil it down to the exact maple syrup stage that I like. It's about a 7-gallon stainless steel pot. It's got a nice stainless ball valve and a 90 degree on there. But inside it's graduated, so I know how many gallons of what we have. So I'm not just kind of guessing. So I'm going to take that and put this over here. And we're going to just do a filter just to get the sediment out of it. And so what we're going to do is I just take a cone filter, just one, because we're going to filter it a couple different times anyways. So it's really just to get whatever's in the pan. So I'm going to put that right here. I folded it over a little bit to keep it out of the level of the sap. And I'm going to just clip that on. Some good old clips. That should hold it, so I don't have to, because you have to, it is boiling hot, so you don't want your fingertips in there. So that should hold. I got my graduations over here. I can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're going to double check to make sure this valve is closed. Do not make that mistake. You'll have syrup all over your floor. Sap Dog would like that, but not today. I think we're ready. So what I'm going to do is slowly open this up, this valve, and then I'm going to start opening up this valve too. So this is going to replenish the pan. Since I have about 4 gallons in here, I'm only taking off 3.5. It'll fill that in. We definitely don't want to run that pan low. It'll burn that pan and ruin that pan. So that's kind of a key thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just open that up and start opening this up. We're going to filter off 3.5 gallons. Open that guy up. So this sap, raw sap over here, is going to push that other syrup right on through those dividers. And as you can tell, it is hot. And as you can tell, I can't see where my graduations are. So I'm going to just go ahead and close these off. Just make sure I have nothing here. Let that steam settle out. Kind of see where we are. Some pots have sight tubes that tell you kind of how much you have, which would be nice, but I don't have one of those. I'm going to grab a little light. Yeah, I can see in here with this. And that's about 2 gallons. Crank that back open. Crank this back open to replace that. Nice color to it. Turn that one on. I'm watching my level raise up where I like to have it. About 1.5 inches of liquid. So I know I have that 5 gallons. A little bit more. Okay. I think that's what we want right there. So I don't have much more in this pan, so I'm going to just let that keep trickling into that pan because the boil's kind of gone now because now you got all that raw, nice cold sap in there. So we'll just let that go for a little bit. I'm going to take this and put it up here on this burner. Okay. All right, I'm going to remove that filter. Since it's pretty hot, you just want to be careful so you don't just grab it. And it just filters out the sediment that was in the bottom of that pan. All kind of the small stuff. Just put that in the bucket for now. Clean that. Those are reusable. You can wash those out just with water and boiling water. You never want to use any detergents when you're working with maple syrup. You don't want those detergents getting into your maple syrup. So now what we have is about 3.5 gallons of sap or syrup, hopefully. And what we're going to do is continue to boil this down and start checking it with what we have is a hydrometer cup and a syrup hydrometer, and this will measure the amount of sugar that is in your maple syrup. And for maple syrup to be legal, called pure maple syrup, it needs to be 66% sugar. So we're going to do this while it's hot, and on this hydrometer there's a little red line basically that we're going to keep. Once we start boiling this down for a little while, we're going to take some syrup out into this, and we'll show this later, but it gives you an idea of what we're looking for. Is we're going to fill this part way up, and we're going to lower this hydrometer into that cup, and that'll float and tell us when we're at that certain percent, at that red line. If this goes down too far and you can't see the red line, then it's too thin. You need to keep cooking it down. The sugar content is not right. If you see that red line going above, then you've kind of boiled it too far. It's too much sugar, so you basically have to go back to your pan, either grab some raw sap or some more syrup that's not cooked and not cooked down all the way to thin that back out. So we're going to work on that here in a little bit. And but for right now, we've got we're ready to get this to the pure syrup stage. So we're going to take a little break, get this set up, and get this burner going. And then we're about done with this for today. So we're going to let that boil for a little longer and shut that down and start working on this. So check back later. We'll give you an update, and take care. And we'll look forward to seeing you later. Thanks a lot for watching, and enjoy all your comments. Thank you.